So, how to create a fire effect? Well, fire can look very different. Like candle fire looks differently than nuclear explosion fire, or when some wood in the forest burning. So we need every time to change something different to create different kinds of fire. I hope what I show you will help you to create your own unique fire. Standard material as usual. So we need some texture for fire. But first we set additive mode and the mask. Let's see. There was some fire textures in StarCraft 2. How does this look? Not bad. We could use this one. This is a flame or something that looks like a flame, and we need to apply it to a particle. Let's copy the emissive map to the alpha mask. Pick the alpha. That should cut the fire off. Well, maybe it's not even needed. Let's just clean it. We don't need it because we are using emissive layer and add mode. This will do the thing. Okay, let's now create the particle emitter. This one. If we apply the texture, the material to the particle and preview, we will see that the fire is not perfect at all. The default particle parameters just make the particles spawn one by one, while we need some kind of fire shape where all particles put together in the center and slowly going up. So how does it look right now? This. Oh, by the way, the texture contains 4 frames. We need to configure the particle emitter to show the frames randomly. 2 rows, 2 columns, random flipbook start. Now it will look like one particle. No? Oh, right, no. Because the material requires that checkbox to be checked. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, now it's one random particle. And it doesn't look like a real-life fire. The real-life effects require a lot of randomization because they are chaotic. Many different fields from the real world affect them. First, how much a particle will live within a fire? Maybe not much, not more than 1 second. The speed range may differ. Let's have a range of speeds. Maybe we'll change it later, maybe not, don't know. The size of the particles may be different too, but the main thing is to define how the size changes along the lifetime of a particle. It starts small, then it grows bigger, and then it's getting smaller, slower. So first we need to enable the middle size. Second, we need to change the middle time, the time where the particle is the biggest, probably somewhere below the middle at 0.3. So if we set it 1, it will be the whole length of the lifetime. So 1 will be referencing the end of the particle. So 0.3 in our case, and it should be like bigger than anywhere else. It starts small and it ends small too, even this, or well, maybe it's not that small when it disappears. Let it be maybe this, you know. Okay, and then randomization. This one, and maybe like this. Let's see how does it look now. Okay, from the distance this may already look something like fire, but we know that there is gravity and there is air, and the fire moves faster the longer it exists, because the light hot air goes with the amplification of speed. I forgot the word. Let's see what. Oh well, never mind. So we need to make this particle to move faster upwards. So we're defining the negative gravitation. Maybe minus 100. Will it go faster? Yes, now it moves faster. But there's one more thing. We shouldn't forget how the real fire look. We need to make the first part of the fire look less visible, and the last part of fire is also less visible. So we change the alpha layer. We have enabled the middle time where the fire is brightest. Its maximum alpha 255. At start, let's set it to 0. Let's set the end color is also 0, because it doesn't jump away. It slowly fades away. But the fire has some middle time of brightness. We need to set the middle of this middle time to some, well, there is smoothing parameter. We pick here linear hold. This enables, oh, maybe it's not here. This one corresponds to the size, and this one, let's see, linear hold. Yeah, this enables the hold time parameter. We need to set it to maybe 0.1, so the middle time will hold the maximum brightness. Okay, so we can see here it is not very bright. As well, it's not very bright here in the end. So maybe it now looks closer to the real fire. What else should we do? Maybe some randomization. Randomization is always good. So we need to randomize this, maybe this, and this. Yeah. How does it look now? Well, it's pale. Let's increase the emissive multiplier, because fire is really bright usually. Alright, now it's really hot fire with some aura around it, but still its top and down part are not so bright. Alright, let's see what else should we change. The color of the fire changes along the lifetime. First, it starts with some red kinds of color, maybe a little bit blue, when it's gas burning, and in the end it's dark red. So this is color parameter, probably something here like this tint, and middle will be fine and the end will be darker red. Well, it's not perfect because it's hard to imitate that complicated thing as a real fire. Let's copy the range and change it a bit like this, maybe some orange, you know, like this. And orange in the center, maybe yellow, don't know, and maybe a little bit darker and redder in the end. Okay, not the big range. Well, yeah, a little bit big, a little bit better. Maybe more red in the end and more darkness like this. Alright. I want more randomization. Oh, by the way, this is a point. A source of particles is a point. We could make it a little sphere like this with a small radius. Well, yeah, that's better. More chaos, because particle will born in the random places of this sphere. Maybe more particles, emission rate higher, a little smaller radius, and a little range of lifetime from 0.9 to maybe 1.2, like this. Randomization. Speed is randomized, maybe higher randomization of the speed. What else can we randomize? The rotation of the particles. Yeah, they do rotate while burning. Let's make them rotate a little bit. Not much, just a little. Alright. Now let's reduce the emissive multiplier. 2 times reduce the emissive multiplier and 2 times increase the emission rate. So it won't affect the brightness, but it will make it less made of particles, but more like a real fire. Good. Now I like it even more. Does it look like a fire? Yes, it does look like a fire. Something burning. Let's make a marine burn. Let's move it here. Yeah. Let the motherfucking burn. You like this? Yeah, sure you like to burn. Because you're a sinner. You raped some other marines. Yeah. Now you burn. Do you like this? You see, he's smiling. He understands that he punished for good. By the way, we see the shadow. We don't need the shadow of the fire. Let's make it no receive shadows, no cast shadows, and unlit, so no reaction to the light. Oh yeah, now it's hot. We could make some smoke, some dark smoke the same way, but we won't, because I think you can do this without my help. Okay. What if we create another kind of fire, like candle fire? Let's reset everything. No, don't save. Really reset. And this time we will create another kind of fire made of the ribbons. Ribbons are not particles. They are like meshes because they made of polygons, which are dynamically changing. Where are the ribbons? Where is it? It's somewhere here. The ribbon. This thing. This little ribbon thing. First, we need to configure the ribbon. We know that there's shape. We need to turn it to the cylinder with some, like, I don't know, maybe 12 edges. Maximum segments. Well, the more we add, the smoother it will look. Well, 40. 960 triangles will be creating this thing. It's kinda a lot for this simple effect. For example, a Zergling only contains 400 polygons, and now we have a shitty fire that consumes 900 polygons. It's too much. But for this example, I will just show you how it may look. When you will create your own effect, you will just reduce these numbers to make it not so performance consuming. So lifespan, it will be length based. Maximum length, well, let it be 100. I don't remember how much we need. So there are other parameters. Well, let's make a material. It shouldn't be any complicated. Maybe just a color will do the job. Maybe add mode, emissive color. Let's make it orange. The color of fire, like this maybe. And apply. Let's see how it looks now. Not bad, already not bad. As usual, we shouldn't forget to remove the shadows, because, you know, in the cutscene editor, even though there is light, but there is no shadow by some reason. Maybe something buggy. So, this is a cylinder. We need to make it look like a fire, the fire shape. Thin at start, fat at middle, and thin at end again. Let's select the ribbon source and change the size. Enabling the middle time. It starts with like 5, now 30, and in the end it's 0. Easy enough to do this. And now it's not smooth. We need to change this smoothing to the smooth. Also move the middle time to maybe like this. Okay, this looks not so perfect again. Let's see. Smooth, Bezier, different kind of smoothing. Alright, well, still not perfect. Maybe moving it here. No, this Bezier thing doesn't look very good. Alright, let's make it smooth again. Not so good. I don't like it. Well, how to make it look better? Let's move it here. Not that small, maybe 8. This maybe 27, and this one, well, doesn't matter. Well, maybe we could push it a bit underground so we don't see that part. Okay, now it's better. Let's change the alpha layer, because fire doesn't start with the maximum brightness. We've done it before. Middle time, okay. And zero gain. Okay, less brightness here and here. Oh, by the way, fire is kind of not that sharp. It has smooth edges. Let's make the edges smooth. It's really easy to do. Material layers have Fresnel mode parameter. Let's make it not smooth. For example, inverted. Fresnel exponent parameter 1. Will it do the job? Yeah. Now it's smoother. Maybe we could do it even more smooth by reducing this parameter 0.5. Yeah, very smooth. Now let's increase the emissive multiplier to maybe 4. The hot bright fire. Yeah. Okay, and again let's reduce this parameter to 0.2. Oh, maybe 25. Okay, not that bad. This will be like a candle fire, but the Fresnel component, you see, when we look it from the side, it's bright. When we look it from top, it's not that bright, because Fresnel component changes the brightness of the model based on the angle of view, but there is not perfect how it's made with the ribbons, because, for example, it has this axis, and this axis means everything. I would expect that this shape would mean everything. How is the normal meshes it work? For example, let's create a sphere and apply our material to the sphere. Like this. You will see that the Fresnel makes it look always the same, because the brightness of the material depends on the angle between the shape of the mesh and the camera view vector. So each polygon is like a separate object, while the fire only works not like a polygons but like an axis. Well, yeah, I guess you understand what's going on here. Let's go on. So you cannot use the Fresnel. Maybe you don't want this effect to be this not perfect, because we look from there and there is no fire. Not cool. Well, okay. I just want to do one little thing. Let's copy this thing and let's create one more material. Let's just copy the material, rename it to something, and change the color to blue, because we know the candle fire contains inner blue thing, inner blue source of fire. Okay, apply it to this new ribbon. Let's reduce the size. For example, let's reduce the length to 50, and let's reduce the size. Let's make it smaller. Okay, how does it look now? You see that there are two fires, the small blue fire inside and the big one, orange one, outside. Well, they add their colors so they look too white. Let's just temporarily reduce the multiplier of this material to something smaller, to see more blue color inside. Yeah, it's not that perfect. Let's move it a bit underground so it look like the real fire. Yeah, like this. Well, it's not moving. Let's add some noise. Real fire should be animated. So there is some noise parameters like frequency, amplitude, speed, some age. I don't remember what does it mean, but those random parameters you see now, it's like moving a little bit. And this looks like the real file. Let's do the same to the second emitter. Noise. Yeah, like this, like the candle fire. It is animated by wind. Alright, what else should we do? Maybe let's change this thing to the blend mode and reduce the emissive amplifier. I just want more blue inside. Oh no, this doesn't look so good. Let it be still in alpha, still in add mode, and maybe not that big Fresnel. Let's see. Yeah, more blue. Well, that's not that good. Well, I guess you can experiment by yourself, because when you're creating some kind of effects, you experiment a lot, just changing the parameters, trying how it may look, changing the complete approach to your effect, just trying many things to make your effect look the best. Then you may succeed. If you doesn't try, if you only repeat what I explained, just use the same names, you use the same numbers, nothing will work. You will just get these shitty looking particles. So just experiment, try new things, and you will create the cool looking particles. Okay, what else can I show you relating to this kind of fire? I don't know, probably I've done all to explain the core ideas, and then you can do this by yourself. Alright, let's end it.